It's Friday, January 17th, 2025. Welcome to episode 137 of the Alameda Postcast, an audio service of the Alameda Post. I'm your host, Scott Peeler. In this edition of the Postcast, multiple Alameda schools were briefly under shelter-in-place orders Thursday. Alameda PD shares some success stories, how to help animals affected by the LA fires, 89,000 square feet available on Alameda Point. Alameda Municipal Power launches an app, a new pizzeria opens for business, more great weekend events, and we at the Post would like to take a moment to talk about facts. These stories and more on this episode of the Alameda Postcast. Our top story. On Thursday, Alameda Unified School District responded to a possible off-campus incident involving a weapon and issued a shelter-in-place order for multiple schools, including Encinal, Ruby Bridges, Alameda Child Development, Island High, Payden, Academy of Alameda, ASTI, and ACLC. The order was issued around 1 p.m. By 1:45, Alameda Police lifted that shelter-in-place order. On social media, AUSD indicated that the measure was taken out of an abundance of caution and that all students and staff were safe. This is a developing story. Details as they become available on alamedapost.com. This past week, the Alameda Police Department had a pretty good run of stopping thefts practically in the act. On Sunday, officers were on scene of a reported residential robbery in under 2 minutes and encountered the suspect exiting the home. The stolen items were recovered, and the suspect was arrested on the charge of burglary, as well as 2 outstanding warrants. On Monday, officers were dispatched to South Shore Shopping Center. A suspect attempted to flee with stolen merchandise in a vehicle, but the vehicle apparently broke down, and officers were able to detain and arrest the suspect while returning the stolen items. What happened next only added insult to injury for the suspect. While APD was investigating the situation, the vehicle caught fire. Alameda Fire Department responded and extinguished the flames. Mere hours later, at another South Shore business, officers again responded to an in-progress theft. Officers were able to arrest the suspect within minutes as they attempted to flee. After the arrest, it was discovered that the suspect was wanted on 4 outstanding warrants. If you see suspicious activity, APD encourages you to call 510-522-2423. For further details on these recent arrests, see alamedapost.com/news. The situation in and around Los Angeles remains a devastating one. While decreasing winds and cooler temperatures have helped, the lack of rain in the forecast and the sheer magnitude of the burn area continue to underscore the severity of the incident. As with any large-scale disaster, animals are not immune. In Pasadena, the Humane Society there has taken in over 400 animals. Friends of the Alameda Animal Shelter have ways that they are helping out, and they could use a hand from you. Already, they're scheduled to take in 10 cats from the affected area, cats that were already in shelters and need to be moved to make room for incoming. With FOZ typically running near capacity, this creates something of a domino effect. The need from LA is expected to rise. FOZ would like to be able to accept dogs, but they are currently full. You can help in a number of ways. First, you can foster a dog or cat. Providing a temporary home frees up space at FOZ and helps the animals. Even a temporary respite from shelter life has been proven to be beneficial not only to the animal, but to the human. If you've been thinking about adopting a pet, now would be the ideal time to do so. Also, FOZ has set up a new disaster response fund. Donations to this fund will go towards transportation, medical, food, and other expenses. Learn about how FOZ is doing their part and how you can participate. John Lipp, Executive Director of FOZ, spells it all out at alamedapost.com/op-ed. While you're there, look for his article on the benefits of fostering for both animal and person. Feeling a little cramped in your current living space? Would 89,000 square feet make a difference? That's the square footage of Building 92, aka 650 West Ranger Avenue at Alameda Point. Located behind Almanac Beer Company and Admiral Maltings, Building 92 currently houses the Alameda Food Bank, which is in the process of moving across the street. Building 92 is part of the Historic Reuse District. Built in 1942 as a warehouse, the building sits on 3 acres. What's the asking price? Well, there isn't one. The city has issued a request for proposals so that prospective buyers can present their best offers and their plans for the property. Back in 2017, Almanac's Building 91 sold for $2.8 million, so one imagines Building 92 will go for substantially more. As the building is considered a, quote, contributing historic building, end quote, the new owners will have some rules and limitations to follow, but we've seen some pretty inventive reuse applications, such as storehouse lots, restaurants, sporting venues, and more. Proposal deadline is April 1st. Proposals will be evaluated on purchase offer competitiveness, financial strength, buyer's experience, and alignment with the city goals. Find out more about the property and even download the brochure at alamedapost.com/news. There's a lot of apps out there. Some of them are actually useful. This new one definitely falls into that category. Alameda Municipal Power has announced the MyAMP mobile app. The new app and a new online customer service portal allows AMP customers to access their smart meter data, compare electricity use over time, pay bills quickly and securely, and manage all their accounts with access to smart forms and service requests. For existing customers, online customer portal access and login remain the same, but it now comes with a whole lot more. Customers can download the app on Google Play and the Apple App Store. Do pay attention as you search out the app. MyAMP is one word, MYAMP. There is an unrelated app, MyAMP, with a space between My and Amp. It's for a financial services company. Just look for the familiar green and white logo for Alameda Municipal Power. Take a look at a sample screenshot and find a direct download link at alamedapost.com/news. You can always get a lively discussion going in Alameda by asking one innocent question: where's the best pizza in town? We're blessed to have so many fantastic pizza options, and now we've got a new choice from an old name. From 2005 until 2021, John Thiel's Papo on Central was well regarded and popular. After navigating pandemic, John decided it was time for a change, so he shuttered the more formal Papo and started down the path that would lead to Pizzeria Papo at 709 Santa Clara, right next to Donut Petite. Thiel has extensive experience in the restaurant industry. Before opening Papo, he worked at Bay Area legends Bay Wolf, Delfina, and Zuni Cafe. He attended the California Culinary Academy and has worked not only in the kitchen, but as a server, bartender, busser, and host, and telling the Post that he wanted to learn every job in the restaurant. To prepare for Pizzeria Papo, Thiel studied at the San Francisco Baking Institute. He also did a lot of research on his own, tasting pizzas and reading books. He said, quote, "I noticed that some of the best pizzas came from a bakery. In my opinion, you have to have that relationship with the dough and the fermentation and the yeast. I'm just trying to make the best pizza I can," end quote. John's goal for Pizzeria Papo is to recreate some childhood memories and provide a local, community-centered pizzeria where families can hang out and enjoy a meal. Right now, Pizzeria Papo is open during lunch and for dine-in only. Online ordering and dinner hours coming soon, and yes, there are gluten-free options. They also feature one of my favorite dessert treats, Strauss soft serve ice cream. Get to know Pizzeria Papo with Gene Chen's article at alamedapost.com/features. If you read the article while hungry, have some napkins handy. The pictures are mouth-watering. The long weekend is upon us. Don't forget, no school and no mail delivery Monday in honor of Martin Luther King Day. So with a little time on your hands, you might be looking for some new things to do, as she does every week. Amanda Laird has cultivated a list of 5 events worth your consideration in her All Around Alameda column. Let's take a look. Make your voice heard at the People's March on Saturday, January 18th, beginning at Alameda City Hall. Marchers will meet at 9:15 to make posters, and the march will set off at 10 a.m. Also on Saturday, head to Lincoln Park Rose Garden at 10 a.m. as the East Bay Rose Society and ARPD present the annual rose pruning. Bring your own clippers and gloves, wear closed-toed shoes, and get tips on pruning to make your roses the best they can be. While you're there, you may hear the sounds of the 35th Annual All-California Sacred Harp Convention going on both Saturday and Sunday. On Sunday, the inaugural Alameda Record Swap takes place at Faction Brewing from noon until 6. Also on Sunday, open house and volunteer hours at the REAP Center. Again, details in All Around Alameda at alamedapost.com/features. In today's changing media landscape, with one person's gospel truth being another's fake news, here at the Post, we want to take a moment to talk about our dedication to bring you factual reporting. Let's start with the truth. No media outlet is completely unbiased. In fact, MediaBiasFactCheck.com very accurately ranks the Post as left-center with high credibility and high rankings for factual reporting. That puts us in the same realm as NPR. Here on the Postcast, I do my best to report objectively, but the simple act of choosing what stories to include in a 10-minute podcast means that my personal experience will color the final product. That's been part and parcel of broadcasting since someone first turned on a microphone. As a new administration is inaugurated, publisher Adam Gillett and managing editor Kelsey Gores have shared their thoughts and guiding principles behind what is presented in the Post. Kelsey examines the importance of accuracy in the news in general and social media news in particular. Adam discusses the primal importance of factual journalism. Do we make mistakes? Sure. But I hope you'll read what Kelsey and Adam have to say, and if you have an opinion, we'd welcome you to share it with us. Thank you for your support of local news for Alameda. You can join us in our efforts by heading to alamedapost.com/memberships. Find us on all the usual social media outlets, including our ever-growing presence on Blue Sky. Find the Postcast wherever you get your podcasts, or simply tell your smart device to play the Alameda Postcast podcast. I'm Scott Peeler. I'll be back next Friday with episode 138 of the Alameda Postcast.